Good afternoon and welcome to Indy Prophecy Watchers Ministry and News 1999. This is the 26th of January 2021. Excuse me. And I came to here because we're talking about the Beast Kingdom. And this Saturday, the 30th of January, we're doing our live prophecy night. We'll be talking about the Beast Kingdom and the laws that are coming and the reset that's happening and all the different things that are taking us into the Beast Kingdom. You know, a lot of people always say things that it can't happen in America and can't happen in America, but yet things are happening in America because people are sleeping and not paying attention. One of the things we need to look at is that with the administration that's, in office right now, we are going back into the Obama era period of things. In fact, everybody in office worked for Obama somewhere along the way for almost everybody. And we are, rejoining the World Health Organization, so they're beginning to dictate things to America and being quoted again. And, we've the Paris Accord, which is the Green New Deal, telling us that the climate's about to go out of control and we got to do something to control it, and ignoring the scriptures about the earth being renewed daily because, it doesn't fit in their climate because that God can't exist, even though he did and he's the one who created it all. But that's the way they see things. But I wanted to let you know, I've a lot of friends in California and they're thinking about leaving California and investing in this kind of stuff. And a lot of companies are fleeing California because of some of the things that are taking place in California. And so I want to go over, there are 5 new laws specifically that I want to talk about that California has passed. This new governor, who I know that there's a thing about getting rid of him and a recall on the elections and all that kind of stuff, but people don't understand that it's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to get the power it needs. But let me go over some of these 5 laws that have been passed, and maybe you'll think differently, or maybe it's just you'll see this time to leave California. The one is, it's basically a tenant reparation for slavery. And what they're going to do is they have decided that this new law, they are going to go door knocking in what they consider black neighborhoods. And they're going to ask you if you have a relative that lived between 1789 and 1865 and that was involved in slavery, meaning being a slave. And then when you answer yes or no, depending on what your answer is, they are going to determine what amount of money is owed to you and your family, against white taxpayers, by the way. Now, they have set up a fund that this money can be channeled into, and then they will decide where this money goes and who gets the money. Sounds like a new way of just channeling the money like the mafia did. Because I can tell you right now, you're not going to see the money that they're going to tell you that you're owed for being having a relative that was involved in the slavery, meaning being a slave. Okay, so that may upset some people. There is another one, and the New York Post reported on this on December 6th of 2020 that the San Diego School District held white privilege training. Teachers were told that you are racist and that this is a public health crisis, and they made the teachers go to training. So this is that you have a white child, a Mexican child, and a black child all in the same class, in the same school district, good or not, and the white child is to be told that he is white privileged because he just sits there and being white, and that he is better off than the black or the Mexican that's sitting with him, or the Asian or anybody else who may be in the classroom. This is a form of racism. It actually stirs up racism because this is what some of the communists have done in the past to cause problems. Not using white, obviously, because communists are typically white, meaning that they're Russian or Chinese and they look white, because a lot of people who look white are not necessarily white, but that's the narrative at this point. And this training is set up to happen all over California. Every school district and every teacher has to go to this training, learn out what white privilege is, and then teach their children, the white children specifically, about white privilege and make them be humiliated in their classrooms. These children may also be on, lunch, free lunches and stuff like that, just like the other children in their classroom is, but they're still white privilege, which, okay. The third law that was passed in California is called the COVID-19 Relief Package for tenants. This screws property owners. And I mean it just that way. It screws property owners. If you're investing in California, I suggest you not do it. Or at least hold off for a little bit. This bill that is now a law allows the Act of 2021, which is what is called the Stabilization Tenant Bill of 2021, wipes out all tenant debt from March 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2021. This bill exists and has the possibility to be extended to January 1st, 2026. This bill allows you to even get out of car payments if it's done right as a responsibility or a burden on you because of COVID-19. What this does is if you're a property owner and you have to make your bank payment, but you've got people in there who owe you money for living there, you can't really even throw them out and they don't have to pay you their bill. And so you could be out all of that money according to this tenant, according to this bill. But also inside this COVID-19 relief bill is something that the state has put in, and this just shows you how crooked the Democrats are in that state, and it is a Democrat bill, so live with it. But this bill also allows for the property to go into receivership to be taken by the bank and gives the state of California the first right to bid on the property before it ever goes on auction. Do you see the land grab? What do you think the Great Reset is for that's coming that you're hearing all about? This means that the state of California can now bid on your property, take it because you weren't able to make the bills because they allowed your tenants to get out scot-free. They have no responsibility to you now. Once the tenants find out this information, it's going to be interesting what happens to California's economy. The fourth bill to be passed is Bill AB 35. It's called the Social Media Platform, and it's based on false information, false bills, and allows the Attorney General of the state attorney, or any attorney practicing for this county or for the city to induce a violation onto the person who has put the false statement on their social media. Now, it doesn't say who gets to tell what's false because, sometimes what people say is opinion, and that is not false or fake news. But sometimes it's true news, but the state has deemed it fake. Have any of you ever been in Facebook jail for putting something on? I know a lot of people have gone to jail, Facebook jail, because they put something on that they believed is true or was simply their opinion, and for 30 days they're locked out of Facebook. In fact, when this one hits Facebook, it may get put out. But however, these are the laws in California. The public then can be subject, or the person can then be subject to a civil penalty for $1,000 per day that they are in violation of this new law. This bill or law is AB 35 in California. The next one is how they steal elections. This law is AB 37. This law allows for all elections to go as mail-in ballots. There will no longer be any in-person voting. Really? Remember, Pennsylvania had more people with mail-in ballots than registered voters, but yet it wasn't a stolen election. That's the truth. That's not a false statement. But this will require the state of California to send every registered voter a ballot, and through a mandated program that will take place in your local districts, it basically will be able to make changes, or technical changes as they call it, to ballots when they come in to be counted. It also means they have control over who's counting your ballots. So this actually removes the in-person voting, which is what's legal through the Constitution, for mail-in ballots. And there, of course, there's no fraud in mail-in ballots. If you don't believe that the beast kingdom is coming, guys, then you're not paying attention to what's happening. The thing that you need to understand that we are moving closer and closer into the seventh kingdom that will be here for a short time, according to Daniel 2, the image, and Revelation 17. That will be for a short time. And then the Antichrist kingdom comes out of that. If I just shocked you on that information, read those two books again and look at them. Also, be in attendance this Saturday, January 30th, for the Night of Prophecy, because I will be telling you a lot more than what I just shared, because there are a lot of things that are coming to the United States and to the world along this order that you will not like, but they are coming, and we will have to deal with them. And if we do not have the power to vote it out, it's here. And this administration is a big fan of these because people in this administration helped write this bill that is affecting the world as a whole as we move into global governance. Many people think this is a good thing. It should stop wars, in all honesty, but we do know by reading Revelation it won't stop wars. However, if you think of global governance as a good thing, then you see that it is a good thing, and we are now rushing into that. I am simply going to teach you on January 30th at 7 p.m. what this means for you and I, what this means for the world as a whole, and what is actually taking place so that you can understand the global reset all the way around. Because if you don't understand it, you don't know. And you can be lied to one way or the other. And I'm just going to tell you off their site what's coming. And that way you guys can decide. I'm not trying to influence you one way or the other. I'm just trying to educate you on this. So, God be with you. And greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. And just be aware that these are now laws that I've just shared with you for the state of California. But remember, what happens in California happens in the rest of the country too. So just be aware of it. I'll be back with some other laws that are taking place down the road as I do the more research as we travel closer and closer to that kingdom. God bless you all. We'll see you later.